what happened here?
Well, you've still got to prep for battle. Like it or not, I'm taking over Palutena's duties.
You're joking, right?
I told you, anything Palutena can do, I can do better.
Wow. Everything I need is still here. I guess I didn't give you enough credit. You're kind of awesome, Verity.
Do you have to be such an insufferable suck-up all the time? It won't get you anywhere with me. My only concern is taking down Hades. Anyway, you can equip weapons and powers here just like always. Got it?
Got it.
Hey everybody, it's Chugga Conroy. Welcome back to more Kid Icarus Uprising. In the last episode, we met up with Magnus, who informed us it had been 3 years since the attack on the Arum Brain. Pit had been turned into a ring and had no knowledge of the intervening time. We also found Palutena in all this confusion. It was not a pretty sight. In this episode, now that we have the help of Verity, we gotta stop Palutena. So, before we move out, I say that we familiarize ourselves with Verity's domain. There's a lot of very small details here, and if you look around a little bit, everything's, well, very natural looking. I felt the need to point that out. There's a lot of very small details. You now use your hearts to buy weapons from Verity. If you're going to convert your weapons into hearts by selling them, you now have an Urgle instead of a Centurion Strongarm that converts your weapons. As for my gear, I decided to fuse some weapons that I'd picked up along the way and make this Meteor Bow. It's the weapon that Pit's body used against us in the last chapter, so I felt it was very fitting here. The Meteor Bow has very poor homing ability, but it makes up for it by having tons of range and an incredibly powerful charge shot. I'm not particularly great with this weapon, but I felt it was fitting. Should also say about powers, I'm going to be using my Mega Laser, which is not the most helpful weapon for this chapter, but I figured I'd use it just because there's always situations where it's helpful. Health recovery, of course. I'm going to go with Confuse Attack, and on top of that, I kind of wanted to show off Libra Sponge, to be honest here, but it's not really the best power for this chapter, so I'm actually thinking about changing to some Brief Invincibility or something. Okay, got a perfectly filled one. We got Mega Laser, Health Recovery, Reflect Barrier, Weak Point Reticle, Brief Invincibility. I think that's good enough, but there is one other thing I'd like to go over as we're discussing Verity's domain. The offering to the goddess is no longer to Palutena, but now, of course, to Verity. On my own time, I've donated many, many hearts to Verity, and for that reason, I'd like to show now what it looks like when you donate a bunch of hearts to the goddess for those that were curious and just didn't have the hearts to give yourself. That's all fine and good, but I know what a bunch of you are thinking. Ugh, Chugga, why didn't you tell me this is gonna happen? I donated a bunch of hearts to Palutena, and you didn't warn me they were gonna go to waste, because now it's reduced to 0 on Verity. Relax. I won't tell you what they're used for, but down the line, the hearts that you donated to Palutena will be used for something. I won't say what, of course, but rest assured, you have not wasted your hearts if you wanted to offer them. Chapter 19, the Lightning Chariot, is up next. Now, we are in for a very, very long ride ahead. Be equipped for survival as well when choosing your powers and your weapon. Just saying, okay? There is a single intensity gate here. It is a 6.0. And just saying, because the chapter is so long, you can bet so many freaking hearts here if you want to get a lot in return. But of course, surviving on 9.0 for a long time is difficult. Let's not waste any more time. Let's move out!
I'm ready to roll!
Then let's get to rescuing Palutena.
Underworld troops on the scene!
I'll send in some backup. If they get in your way, I'll pull them out.
You know, you can be really nice when you try.
So, anyone really like Verity already? Took her, what, 4 seconds to send us help when it took Palutena 17 chapters to give us Centurions? Yeah.
The force field around Palutena's temple is incredibly strong. We're going to need to borrow the Lightning Chariot.
That sounds awesome!
It's a super fast battle carriage that travels the galaxy. It's also pulled by unicorns.
And that's what I'm gonna use to break through the force field?
Exactly.
So basically, you're telling me to slam a horse cart into a brick wall.
Sure, if you want to put it crudely.
Which means I might die.
Well, anything's possible.
Does the Lightning Chariot at least have airbags?
Last I checked, no.
I'm not a safety net, but even I thought somewhere.
So you don't really care about saving Palutena after all. She could be in agony at this very moment. She could be trapped inside a dungeon of madness. She could be crying out, "Oh, help me, Pit! Oh, please!"
Okay. I guess it it is my duty to rescue her.
Yeah, I know. That was my point.
Aren't I a little low to be flagging down a galactic chariot?
It's not like those chicken wings of yours are really helping any.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I've got a great plan.
This ought to be good.
Have you ever been to the circus pit? Time reactor to human cannonball. It's just such a thrill ride.
Where are you going with this?
We're going to do our own version, but with an angel instead.
No way! Absolutely not!
Ugh, it's so boring. Where's your sense of adventure? Three, two, one, fire!
I could have been blown to smithereens!
But you weren't. Look on the bright side.
Yeah, Pit, look on the bright side of life. You've been almost killed how many times, but never actually killed. See? You gotta look at things like that. On top of that, look at it this way. This area is so gorgeous. Actually, about that, for those of you that have been telling me that these graphics really aren't that good and that I need to stop, praising things that really aren't that great, look at this game on a 3DS screen and say that again, because these videos don't really do this game justice in terms of visuals, because I'm having to blow up the visuals a lot on a screen much bigger than what they're intended to be viewed on. So just keep that in mind, because this area really is gorgeous when you see it like that.
The underworld presence is very strong.
Do you think they're after the Lightning Chariot too?
Huh? Here it comes behind you, Pit!
It is cruising!
The chariot's headed for its home base. Stay on it!
What do you mean, stay on it? You're the one controlling our flight path. We're just shooting stuff and having very limited dodging ability. You stay on it.
Hello again, friends.
Hades!
Not you again.
Just look at the two of you sneaking around behind Palutena's back. It's a classic.
Shut your mouth!
What do you want, Hades?
The Lightning Chariot, obviously.
You creep! Just go away already!
It's one slick ride. A veritable goddess magnet, if you will.
Please. I'm a goddess, and I would never ride in that thing.
But Kitty here sure likes it.
Are you only here to get in our way?
My intentions are always honorable. You know that.
Whatever you're really up to, we're going to find out.
It gives me such pleasure to see you suffer, Pity Pat.
Just ignore it, Pit. The Lightning Chariot is up ahead.
We've got to get to it before the underworld does.
Both the Lightning Chariot and its master are in that tower. I'll drop you off on the ground floor.
Okay, I'll make my way up from there.
Just so you know, the tower's really, really tall. Get ready to feel the burn.
No worries there. Have you seen these thighs?
Ready for the battle, Pit?
Affirmative! So the Lightning Chariot is in this tower, huh?
Who dares trespass on my domain? Leave before you get hurt.
Who said that?
I've had many names in my life. Now I am called the Chariot Master.
Oh, great! You're the guy I'm looking for. Listen, I have a favor to ask. Would you mind if I borrow your chariot for just a little while?
Your foolishness is matched only by your rudeness. How dare you charge in here flinging unreasonable requests at me? I have half a mind to turn you into galactic roadkill.
You can't really blame him for being upset. That was kind of rude.
Then I guess there's only one thing I can do. I'll go talk to this chariot master guy in person. He's at the top of this tower, right?
That's right. Hey, look at you acting all assertive. You're just grabbing life by the horns and shaking it until it moves.
Until it moves. Shaking it until it moves. Feel free to take that out of context and make tons and tons of really, really bad jokes out of it. I know I do. Okay, so, souffle! Need to get... I got hit there, dang it. Okay, that souffle will go away if you kill all the enemies in the room first, so you need to keep at least one Mick alive if you want to get it. Unfortunately, I was not able to do so.
So, is there an elevator in this tower?
Oh, would Prince Kent like me to scatter rose petals in his path too? Listen, this is the only way up, so you'd better get a move on.
Right away, that brings me to something that irks me a little bit. Irk's actually kind of a fun word now that I think about it. I'm getting off topic, okay. Viridi is getting all in Pitt's face about the fact that he has to climb this big old tall tower on foot, and he's complaining about it. Nah. Okay. Viridi. I'm going to explain this nice and slow so that you can understand. Well, Viridi's a fictional character, so she can't understand regardless. But I'm getting sidetracked once again. A tower is a vertical structure. Give or take a little bit for the curvature of the Earth, it has pretty much the same ground position on the top as it does on the bottom. On top of that, Pitt flew here. He is closer to the top than the bottom. There was nothing on that 5-minute time limit that was preventing her from dropping Pitt off on the top floor from the get-go, aside from the fact that, well, we need to have a ground level here. But, and on top of that, there wasn't like any sort of security up there. There were lightning bolts in the sky, yes, but they weren't near the tower. There wasn't like a barrier around the tower. There were like those 2 arch things around it, but those weren't going all the way to the top. It looked pretty defenseless on the top, if anything. And even on that, she could have dropped us off anywhere, but instead she's like, I'll drop you off on the ground floor, Pitt. I don't get it. And it's so irritating. Viridi, I like you, but your sense of logic is flawed. Specifically, because she's a Nintendo character, she has a sense of Nintendo logic. Back on track over here, we have a room where half of the floor hurts you, half of the floor doesn't hurt you. You got speed boots to help you move about. So, take it away, Viridi.
Those floor panels alternate between hurting you and not hurting you. They don't seem to have any effect on those underworld enemies, though.
That's a known issue. It'll be resolved in the next version of the tower.
Someone needs a better QA department.
Well, I guess in the world of Nintendo, better needing a better QA department than a better marketing department, because it's really a shame that the Wii U, I gotta say, I like my Wii U. It had a slow first year, but, you know, so does every console, and the games that it does have been really good so far. I mean, say what you will about the new Super Mario Brothers games, though, but I like a lot of games on it. But regardless of that, it's such a shame that it's not doing well just because the marketing for it is so bad, because no one knows that it's a new game console. No one knows that it's like a, you know, pretty decent system hardware-wise. No one knows any of that. People just think it's a new controller for the existing Wii console. But, again, I'm getting off track. That's probably going to be a thing here because of just how long this area is. We got these pillars here. You want to shoot down these pillars. There's a treasure chest on this one. There are 2 that have enemies on them, 2 that are blank. You want to keep your distance. Well, of course, I say that as I dash into it. You want to keep your distance, and you want to look up to see where the enemies are. If you have a good ranged weapon, you can take them out without needing to shoot down the pillars. I just recommend that you don't get up too close because their shots can be tough to avoid at close range just because of how spread out they are and just the way that they move. It's just something that I've always had trouble avoiding at close range. Maybe you do too, I don't know. But more importantly, let me actually shoot these down really quick, just make sure there's nothing on them though, because I'm always paranoid that I'm going to miss chests, because I've had a few chests that I've missed so far, which, I'm pretty sure I've already said this though, but I plan on going back and covering those toward the end of the series, just so I can cover all the chests that I've missed. There's been some where it's just been a mistake, like where I knew how to trigger it, I just didn't do it, or something like that, but yeah, I do plan on covering them all. Anyway, let's head out here and climb up the tower even further.
Jump pads will help you over any gaps in the walkway.
Yeah, climbing this tower is really a pain.
Aw, someone sounds like he wants a piggyback ride.
Hades, you are great. I'm so sorry, but like I said, there's times when I want him to win more than Pitt does. But in this chapter, like, just listen to Hades. He's always just like, like, he always talks in, like, baby talk. It's so weird. I mean, especially right here. Like, this is one of my favorite things that Hades says. But in this section, he has a real gem of talking like that.
Okay, so we've got rolling obstacles.
And don't forget the jump pads.
Something seems familiar about this.
I guess the Chariot Master has played Donkey Kong.
Hades, you are my favorite character for referencing Donkey Kong here. I like the original Donkey Kong quite a bit. Okay. I do not like this area, however. You want to jump on these jump pads, or hop on these jump pads, or step on these jump pads, because Pitt can't jump, of course, as soon as you hear the thud. Like so. You then need to rush through to the end. That area, if you have a very slow-moving weapon like a club, it sucks. And there is an achievement for playing this chapter with a club on 9.0. Yeah, that is one achievement that I was never able to actually get. Over here we have an ether ring.
It's solid ice.
Using an ether ring should keep you from slipping around.
Why does the Chariot Master have a vehicle of the gods?
Isn't it obvious?
Are you saying you're a god?
I'm not saying anything.
Ugh, then why even bring it up?
That is something that I want to talk about a bit later. Many people have theories about who the Chariot Master actually is, and that is an important point in my own personal theory. Granted, I do want to say that I have said some kind of weird theories in the past, and I do understand that they are just theories and I'm not stating them as facts, so keep that in mind whenever I talk about that. But it is something that I do want to talk about later. Shrimp right here, I could go for having more. That actually healed me more than what I was expecting. Of course, we can't carry this ether ring through this door that is very clearly open because reasons. And by reasons, I mean an invisible wall that only affects vehicles. Cheap!
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
No, we're not. No, we're not. Be careful you don't step on any landmines.
I'll do my best.
Mines certainly are useless on floating underworld monsters.
Yes, I'm quite aware of that.
Defense really isn't your strong suit, is it? Yeah, whatever. Defense isn't for the weak and insecure.
Says the guy who's doing the attacking, of course. But about this room. If you stay off to the side here, this room is really, really easy. You don't need to worry about getting sucked in toward those landmines if you just stay off to the side, because it can't suck you in past that rail right there. Because getting sucked into a landmine really sucks! You can tell that I'm starting to be driven insane by this area if I'm making puns that lame. I mean, that's bad even for my standards. But then again, doesn't that mean that they're good? Oh well, grind rail!
Hey there, grind rail. Time to give these barking dogs a rest.
Why do people call their feet dogs anyway? Like, I've heard that a few times, but I never understood it. Like, why? Because their feet stink? I don't know. Wow, way to be blunt.
There's an oversized bowling ball and some ugly bowling pins.
My troops are a worthy sacrifice for the sport of kings.
Every sport is the sport of kings. Let's hit that. See if we can get a strike. Nah, I didn't. Whoa, hey, buddy, hey! Can I pick up a spare? Wow, that was kind of bad. You don't actually need to use the bowling ball to kill all 10 of these repets. The repets also won't do anything to you if you walk up. Like, see here, I could just be like, hey, buddy, what's up? Hi, hello. Oh, you paralyzed me if I touch you. Okay, never mind. They actually do something if you touch them. You don't need to use that to kill them all. There is a hidden treasure chest over this way if you go there. And, yeah, let's head on through this door. Let's be careful not to get hit by the wrecking ball, because that actually does hurt you. Why have you betrayed me, bowling ball? Let's go. Balunka! Hey, Balunka! Come on. Die. Die. Die! Scuttler Cannoneer, die! There we go. Good.
Are we there yet?
Verity doesn't even bother to justify him with a response anymore. How sad. Pitt wants to know if we're there yet, and he doesn't.
A severe wind advisory is in effect up ahead.
Thanks for the heads up, but no little breeze is going to slow me down.
You know, I kind of would expect Pitt to catch onto the wind a bit easier, because he does have wings even if they don't work. Oh, I got speed boots. There's different different items you can get here. The speed boots are kind of a blessing or a curse. They help you get across the wind a lot quicker, but at the same time, because you're moving faster, it can be a little bit harder to coordinate yourself so that you don't get blown off of the cliffs. And yeah, I can't really say that I was pleased with getting that. You can run towards the wind. You don't need the speed boots to do this, but you do have a chance of getting speed boots from that chest, of course. And with full health, let's go for it!
Convenient.
Oh, I'm so pleased that it meets your approval.
They just never stop being cute, even when they're bickering. And again, when they're bickering, it's always the best. I mean, well, I've had quite a few, like, twisted pairings that I've supported over the years. And wow, I seriously just mentioned pairings. Let's, come on. You know what? I don't want to deal with you. Just go. Just die, please. Thank you. Die. Go. Scuttler, stop. There we go. Scuttler, stop. Stop Scuttlers.
Look, the Chariot Master has an exo-tank.
Maybe he's a gearhead.
Or a nerd.
Blunt. Hades is blunt. Sorry that I keep switching between my commentary and the game's commentary if you think that's been happening a bit too often in this video. It's just that, even though this is a long area, these awesome characters are here to keep you entertained for the long ride ahead. And I don't want to talk over a lot of their finer moments, because Hades has some real gems here. Like, Hades' mouth should just be a gem in itself, because there's that many that come out of it. And speaking of really, really great conversations.
So, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
You know that saying that there are no bad questions? Well, there are. This is one of them. We are not there yet! And I do wish there was a way to speed up this process.
Okay, I'm sorry if that sounds a little forced that I'm laughing at somebody of these, but that is one that gets me every time. It's just that good. But, Verity, shut up! You could have dropped yourself at a higher point in the tower. There was no reason you couldn't have. More importantly to the matter at hand, we have a very, very simple room here. We have crystals that we need to switch, which bring this pillar down, and we have a gauntlet of enemies we need to fight. Because we're just kind of fighting enemies that we previously fought, I'd like to talk about some other things while we're here. Now, this is something that I think about from time to time, and I'm not blind to comments. You know, I do read my Twitter, and I do try my best to keep up with what people generally think of what content I'm putting out and things like that. And there's always that comment I get every so often that is just kind of like, you know, Emil, it's 2013, why do you not have a face cam by this point? I mean, get with the times. And I'm not going to try to bash people that use those. There are people that make it work. I'm not going to say that they don't. It's just that the way that I make videos, I've never felt like that's something I'd want to do. Because I feel like it makes the video more about yourself than the game that you love and the game that you're trying to show off. And that's really what a lot of this is about for me, is that I want to show you a game that I like and has given me a lot of happiness, and I'd like to share that happiness with you. And while I'm not saying that a facecam outright prevents that, I'm just saying that I always feel like it makes the video more about yourself than the game, and that's not something that I want to do. But am I wrong for thinking that way? And I'd like to hear what you think about this, because it's something that I think about from time to time. Because I've heard people say that there is a deeper emotional connection if you can see the person's face to it, though, but it's just something that I feel very conflicted about at times, and I just want to know what you think about it. But that's pretty much it. We're done with the enemies here. So, we got a drink of the gods here, and we got a jump pad taking us up into the unknown. You know what that means, right? We gotta be getting close to the end! Next time on Kid Icarus Uprising, we'll be heading up there. See you guys then.